Of deaths at the hands of the security forces, all because of one man.
And at the same time, that when you get into a confrontation with the police, you have respect for the law. Hold on, man, hold on. I teach. Teach me, I teach. Right now, I come for all the people in mind. So, the breakdown in respect between citizen and the police did not happen overnight. It happened as a result of the introduction of PNP-ISM into the culture of Jamaica.
Military operation in 2010. 76 civilians reported dead.
Residents of downtown were shaken with fear as the security forces made their way into sections of Tali Gardens and Denham Town today.
These were the armed forces on the waterfront in downtown Kingston at about 1 p.m. in position and full gear as helicopters buzzed ahead and the Coast Guard patrolled the waters.
This bloody Labour Day in Kingston. We begin with news that the security forces have launched a massive offensive in Tali Gardens, West Kingston today.
Mass graves uncovered in Kingston's public cemetery.
Of deaths at the hands of the security forces, all because of one man.
2022, when Jamaica had 1,511 murders. And with data available from 2012, Jamaica had the 6th highest homicide rate at 39.3 per 100,000 population that year. In 2001, 27 civilians were killed in an event involving police in Tali Gardens, the same location as the current event.
A corporal was immediately shot and killed by gunmen whom we saw firing from the high-rise building in Tivoli.
There is a British-trained Jamaican Defence Force, the JDF, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF. Together, these are referred to as the security forces. Christopher Dodos Coke was regarded as the preeminent Don in Jamaica. His base was in Tali Gardens, in the electorate of the Prime Minister at the time. Tali Gardens had a population in 2010 of approximately 10,000, including, in the words of one witness to the subsequent Commission of Inquiry, a cadre of uneducated, unemployed, and unemployable young people. They depended on the patronage of Coke for their livelihood. His father before him had led a gang in Tali Gardens. Coke took the title President. He led the presidential clique, and his girlfriend was popularly known as the First Lady. His gang had reached into other parts of Kingston and Jamaica through a less cohesive transnational organized crime network called the Shower Posse, and had overseas affiliates in Tampa, Miami, Ohio, and the UK. His criminal enterprise involved drug trafficking, arms trafficking, robbery, extortion, and kidnapping. The Commissioner of Police at the time described Tali Gardens under Coke as a state within a state. It was also called the mother of all garrisons. It is a community created by large-scale housing developments allocated by the state to supporters of the party in power. These partisans then pushed out the minority from within and guarded against invasion from outside. Utility companies could not go into the community to collect outstanding money, effectively making utilities free in Tali Gardens. Coke himself collected payments for these services. For 30 years before, police testified at the Commission of Inquiry. The JCF was unable to undertake regular policing in Tali Gardens. No police station had been situated there for many years. This was a recognition of the danger to police involved in having a presence there. A commission of inquiry had been held into a bloody confrontation between the security forces and the residents of Tivoli in 2001, resulting in 27 deaths. How they met their deaths was never established. No one was held legally or administratively accountable. In 2001, the commission concluded, and I quote, "There was abundant credible evidence from which it may be inferred that the twin issues of garrison communities and political tribalism cannot be eliminated as a feature of political and cultural life in Jamaica unless Tali Gardens is brought under the complete control of the JCF." End of quote. This was easier said than done because of the level of everyday violence. A component of Jamaica's high homicide rate is the frequency with which citizens die at the hands of the police. Police shot and killed 272 people in 2007, 224 people in 2008, and 263 people in 2009. In addition, 10, 19, and 12 police officers respectively died during the course of JCF operations in each of those years, almost all by gunshot wounds. Also, over this period, there were many other individual events of violence, including attacks on police stations, and when one of Coke's brothers was killed in 2005. On August 24, 2009, the heads of the security forces received information that the United States government was actively seeking Coke's extradition from Jamaica. They immediately informed the Prime Minister, Mr. Golding, the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party government at the time. Almost immediately, according to intelligence, Coke fled his luxury compound in regional Jamaica and went to his base in Tali Gardens. The government took 9 months to authorize his extradition, during which time public anxiety and unrest increased. The Prime Minister referred to legal and constitutional issues in the extradition request, leading to the considerable delay. The existence of these issues was subsequently confirmed by a special commission of inquiry convened in October 2010 to consider all the issues surrounding the request. As time passed, the US began refusing visas, amongst other actions, for members of the government wishing to travel to the US. Civil society groups became active. The opposition discovered a $400,000 payment to a US law firm to lobby in Washington against the extradition. When challenged with this, the Prime Minister responded that the money was paid by the Jamaica Labour Party, not by the government. This fact was also verified by the Special Commission of Inquiry, which was very critical of the payment, saying that it was inappropriate for the Prime Minister to arrange such a thing. Eventually, the Prime Minister apologized in Parliament. Then, without giving the security forces any advance notice, he announced the agreement of the extradition in a national address on public television on May 17, 2010. This was regarded by his opponents as effectively signaling the agreement to Coke, thus giving him time to disappear.
And so all of that occurred in 2010, my people. So, as Colin Bell stated, the Prime Minister is selective in what he wants the people to know. Not only coming out to blame PNP for the breakdown of, trust between civilians and police, right? But to come out and say, well, both parties, things have happened in their share of governing the country, but to come out and blame it on one side only. Look what happened. The whole Tivoli incursion in 2010 under his government, so to speak. He was a minister at that time. And so when it comes to crime, I better him say, let us work together in a collective manner instead of blaming one side. Because the crime and violence affects everyone. What my people want to hear from you, tell me what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. On the road to 30k, help me to get there, my people. Get this video to at least 3,000 likes. Stay tuned for more videos, stay tuned for more updates. Notification shout out goes to Roy Campbell. Big up yourself, Roy. Thanks for the continued support from each and every one. Big up on yourself.